Hello everybody and welcome to Amnesia the Dark Descent. My name is Travis and I'm going to be playing you through this game today and right now. I wanted to introduce my channel Travesty as a gaming channel and with a throwback. I figured I'd start off strong with something that's been seen about 1,000,000 times before and is probably completely uninteresting to the community
Don't forget,
large.
Some things mustn't be forgotten. The shadow hunting me. I must hurry. My name is Daniel. I live in London at Mayfair. What have I done? This is crazy. Don't forget. Don't forget. I must stop him. Focus. My name is... I am Daniel.
As I was saying, I wanted to start with something strong. Start with something scary. A game that is that holds a close place in my heart, simply because of how many frights and how many scares it's given me. And I have played this game before, but it was years ago, so I'm not entirely sure where everything's at or what to do. I'm probably going to get stuck on a few parts, but yeah, that's just my prediction. Anyway, so yeah, thank you so much for clicking on the video and watching and giving me a chance. If you're still with me, if I haven't bored you to death, yeah, I'll do a basic, I'm gonna do a video in the future with a basic introduction of my channel and what I want to achieve, you know, things like that. So we'll figure that out in a little while. But anyway, on to the game. What? Don't know what that was supposed to be. But I think there might be something. Yes. Like any responsible adult, I'm going to hold this bottle of alcohol over a burning fire. I can already, oh man, I can already smell, I can already tell, I can already feel what's coming in the future of this game for me, and I can't say that I'm very thrilled about it. Of course, it'll be good for everybody else, but for me, not particularly. Anyway, I'm gonna, you get up, you loser. Come on. Oh, yeah, okay, so he got up and then he fell. Okay. Well, I'm gonna put it this way. I talk a lot, so I apologize for that. I'm gonna try to limit my speaking as far as it comes for more cinematic instances of the game, and try to let you experience the story. Yeah, you know, I don't want to get on anybody's nerves by talking, but I will read the notes that I find. I'm not going to go for a 100% completionist run and try to find every note that I possibly can, and I know there are some achievements for finding tinderboxes and whatnot, but I'm not going to try and do that. I'm going to try to do the game straight through. I might miss a note or two, and I apologize in advance for that. But I am also an explorer, which means that I may inadvertently end up finding all of the notes to begin with. I forgot where the threshold is, where things are actually a threat as opposed to just smoke and mirrors. My goodness, my chest is already getting tight from this. At the very least, we have found the one and only defense mechanism we have against the darkness of the Castle Brennenburg. And that is our trusty lantern. I wonder if there's anything in here for me to find. Oh, I never knew that was there. And again, I haven't played this in a while, so I don't I don't see why I would know that was there. It seems to be a gravitational pull toward that note right there, so something tells me that I must read it. And I think this is going to be a voice-acted note, so I'm going to mute myself while it reads.
19th of August, 1839. I wish I could ask how much you remember. I don't know if there will be anything left after I consume this drink. Don't be afraid, Daniel. I can't tell you why, but know this. I choose to forget. Try to find comfort and strength in that fact. There is a purpose. You are my final effort to put things right. God willing, the name Alexander of Brandenburg still invokes bitter anger in you. If not, this will sound horrible. Go to the inner sanctum, find Alexander, and kill him. His body is old and weak, and yours, young and strong. He will be no match for you. One last thing. A shadow is following you. It's a living nightmare, breaking down reality. I have tried everything, and there is no way to fight back. You need to escape it as long as you can. Redeem us both, Daniel. Descend into the darkness where Alexander waits and murder him. Your former self, Daniel.
Alright, past Daniel, or future Daniel here, and I don't see why we wouldn't do it. Honestly though, I would be pretty suspicious of that note, because, you know, this isn't exactly a time where you have video footage and things like that. So just finding a random note addressed to you from yourself, it sounds a little bit ridiculous. I'd be pretty suspicious of that. Be like, this note claiming to be me, even though I don't remember anything, is telling me to go and murder somebody? Yeah, I wouldn't exactly consider that the best idea, to follow the instructions of a note by somebody who, could be you, but more than likely is not. Alright. Okay, just suck me in right there.
Alexander, is it inside the castle?
In a manner of speaking. Come, bring the lamp. You've been to the refinery, have you not?
I don't believe I have. Is it connected to the... what did you call it?
The inner sanctum. My most precious chamber, Daniel. And it lies well beyond the refinery. In fact, it lies beneath the very stone of Brennenburg.
Gotta love the audio in those flashbacks and whatnot. It's really, really involving. Really makes me feel like a lot of time and effort was placed into that.
Get away from me!
Is there actually a woman in this castle? What the hell are you doing here? How long has it been? Look at this place. This didn't just fall apart. Wait a minute. Am I wrong? This didn't just fall apart from... Huh. I mean, would time even do something like this to a castle? These solid stone structures just collapse like that? What do I know? Moving on to the archives, where I belong. And then I think after we go to the archives, we're headed on to the laboratory. And perhaps shortly after that, the lavatory, because there's going to be a lot of poop made in my pants. Oh, please! I don't think that was anything, but I'm glad my first line of defense against something was hiding behind a very thin chair. Alright. I'm gonna check these to see if I can find anything good. And
16th of May, 1839. The unflinching African sun has continued to plague our expedition, making it impossible to dig until dusk. How Professor Herbert managed to find the location in these vast plains of nothingness remains a mystery to me. When I asked him about the tomb again, he told me about the legend of Tin Hanan, the mother of us all. An interesting story in its own right, but I can't help feeling there's more. Later that evening, we uncovered a passage beneath the dunes leading to a sand-covered stone structure. The professor was confident it was the tomb we sought and ordered the others to clear the way late into the dark, cold night. Tomorrow, I shall lead the men into the ancient structure, hoping to reach the burial chamber. No matter what the professor is keeping from me, the dig should yield something interesting to take back to London and the British Museum.
So it seems Daniel's a little bit suspicious. He's a little bit suspicious of this professor, and something that may or may not be being hid from him. Although what that is, I don't quite know. I hereby offer my full attention and services to Alexander, Baron of Brennenburg. This contract will reign for a total of 3 years when my freedom shall return to me. In addition, Alexander, Baron of Brennenburg, is to recommend my services at the Prussian royal court and within the sanctum of the Order of the Black Eagle. May no man break this seal. Wilhelm, House of Garrick. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I would hope so. So I'm not entirely sure where this game takes place, but based on the notes, it sounds like it's in Prussia. Or perhaps that's just where Wilhelm is from, which means he's either traveled a long way to get here, or they're, you know, very nearby. Oh boy. Well, wherever there's danger. That wasn't the smartest idea. However, you can't blame me for trying. I'm going to take this game as it is. If I see danger, I'm probably going to throw myself head first at it. Because that's the only way I know how to defend myself, is jumping straight into the waiting jaws of death.
17th of May, 1839. My hands tremble as I write. I feel a need to document my tribulation, for I fear that my memory will fail me if I linger. Today, I took some men and ventured into the dark, ancient passage we uncovered. Our torches burned faintly in the murky air as we slowly made our way underground. The men were superstitious and fearful. They argued loudly, and I felt their strange language getting to me. I mustered my strength and yelled at them to continue down the slopes and broken steps. The crudely carved passage confused me. It looked much older than the 4th century structure we had expected. The twisting path emerged into a great antechamber. The walls were lined with statues unlike any I'd ever seen. Despite their unearthly quality, I felt a strange familiarity toward them, which haunts me still. At the far end of the chamber, a great slab of stone sealed off whatever lay ahead. I gave the order to raise it, and as I pushed through the narrow space, the heavy stone suddenly dropped, sealing me inside. I was trapped.
Indeed you were, Daniel, but not for very long, because look where we're at right now. And your note was found over there, and your note was found over there, and your note was found in another room over there. Alright. Ooh! What the fuck was that? Okay, it's just trying to psych me out, that's all. Take that one to replace the one that you dropped, you idiot. How could you? I heard somebody playing a piano over in this direction, but I'm not quite ready to face my death yet. I want to keep opening drawers, so whatever kills me has to go back through the castle and start to close them all. Very bright out. Very, very bright out. For a horror game, I would have expected it to have been like midnight, but then I guess they wouldn't have the ambient lighting, would they? The place would be completely black. Anyway, I did hear sultry sounds of death inviting me into its warm embrace in this direction. Particularly that one. Particularly that one. What do you mean by that? Okay. Moving forward in this little investigation we've got going, this investigatione. What?
Much of the castle is old and hasn't been tended to for centuries. When the shadow arrives, it won't take long until things start falling apart.
We're just buying time anyway. Let's do what we can.
There isn't much to be done about the walls. We should reinforce weak structures. The ground will tremble and there's a risk everything will cave in on us, especially downstairs. Here, and there. Let's get the servants working on it.
Okay, so... sounds like they're trying to prepare for something. But for what? I don't think we'll ever know. Daniel, don't you pass out on me. Don't you pass out on me, Daniel. Not right now, Daniel!
17th of May, 1839. After pounding the unforgiving stone wall for what seemed like an eternity, I realized it was hopeless. I was trapped. I fell to the ground, gasping for air, trying to focus. That's when I saw a faint blue shimmer. My weakened body was heavy to carry, but I managed to push myself toward the enchanting light. It was waiting for me. Enclosed in dark nothingness, I felt myself drawn to the mystic light. I reached out, closing it in my hands. The faint glow escaped my fingers and began to spark brightly and spirit me away, unlocking alien memories of spiraling towers, endless deserts, and impossible geometry. The next thing I can remember is the grating sound of stone being lifted, the voices of the Arabs pulling me to safety, and grasped firmly in my hands was the broken pieces of a most peculiar relic.
You found something out there, Daniel, didn't you? You found something, but you don't quite know what. Ah! Sorry, just had to exert a little bit of effort to get that wall broken down.
You have to be swift when you activate the first one. You hear that? If it stops, you'll have to start over.
Isn't all this a bit excessive?
You can never be too careful, Daniel.
You never be too careful, but an idiot can figure that out within 5 seconds of learning the area. Well, to be fair, I didn't even know how that would work the first time I played this game, so... Jeez, took enough tries. Come on, man. Altstadt and Brennenburg Castle, 1801. Another region rich with lore is Altstadt, deep within the East Prussian woods. For centuries, there have been stories surrounding the hamlet and its neighbor, Castle Brennenburg. The quiet, forest-clad mountains dressed with scattered lakes is as picturesque as can be, albeit the area is haunted by the dark. Ask any local and you will hear proof of the widespread superstition. All travelers should indulge themselves in such conversations, since it will certainly serve as exciting entertainment. All of them have their own twists on the tales, but there are some motifs that keep reappearing. The Gatherers. This story reaches all the way back to the time of the 30 Years' War. It is said that soldiers who abandoned their duty got lost in the cold, dark woods and were forever damned to roam the grounds. Their bodies, wrought by their tainted souls, have left them disfigured and empty of essence. Many have cited them over the years and described them as horrid revenants. They move silently through the woods, shying away from any beholder. They are called gatherers as they seem to follow some ambition to steal living creatures. It is their prey which can be heard struggling inside damp burlap sacks dragging behind them which reveal their presence. What dark schemes do they follow? A visit undone. Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa, the well-known erudite, visited Alstad at the start of the 16th century. He resided in the local inn for a fortnight as he looked for the remnants of kingdoms past. During his stay, all the prominent members of society paid notice, and he is mentioned in many of the records of the time. One day, he went to investigate a burrow in the northwestern glades, only to never be seen again. Heinrich is known to have passed away in Grenoble some 10 years later. He dismissed the notion of ever visiting Altstadt, which makes you wonder what really happened. Who was this mysterious man who visited the sleepy hamlet in the woods, and what happened to him? The Immortal Baron. The Baron of Brennenburg lives a reclusive life with his family at the castle nearby. Altstadt, like most of the noble birth, rumors are inherited. Wait, did I read that right? Altstadt, this castle nearby Altstadt, and like most of the noble birth. Alright, I already messed this one up, so I'm just gonna speed through it. Rumors are inherited alongside with the title. Researching the history reveals little before the castle was consumed by fire in the late 16th century. It was rebuilt by Alexander, a nobleman from the Rhinelands, claiming the role as protector of the Prussian state. Alexander helped the region to flourish and remained popular throughout his presumed lifetime. The family has always been secretive when it comes to lineage and heritage. Therefore, the birth and death of Alexander and his offspring have never been fully recorded. This has fed the idea that the Baron is in fact the one and the same who came from the west over 300 years ago, lived through time of occupation, and joined the coveted Order of the Black Eagle along with the great leaders of his country. Man, that took a lot out of me. Why is it that I'm able to read fast and accurate, but when I try to read slow, I have to, like, you know. There's so much spit. Yes, I see you on the desk there, Key. You are the key to my heart. Man. Wilhelm and his fools have endangered my research long enough with their absent-minded handling of the human vessels. The sheriff is keeping a watchful eye on the forest and is killing my trusty servants. It's just a matter of time until they follow the trail to Brennenburg. I need to lock Wilhelm and his men up to avoid further investigation from the public. The wine cellar will therefore be sealed off until the matter has been handled. Either the king's men leave, or they will starve. Whatever comes first, they can rot for all I care. Maybe I will feed them some wine. It would, in a sense, solve both of my problems. Perhaps it would. Keep them sated, Alexander. Keep them sated. Oh, that's right, I said if there's danger, I have to go head first! Okay. There was nothing. Alright. I'm happy for that. Don't you even think about coming in this direction. I promise you, I'm a black belt. I'll deliver to you the nut stomp of death. That's right. Why? Why? Why is this happening to me? Please, 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 just make it to the exit. Please, just make it to the exit! Okay. Alright, alright, alright. I don't actually know if there was anything behind me or not. I'm just going to assume that there was. Alright. Well, anyway, I think I've run out of time here for this episode. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you stuck with me from beginning to end, I really, really do appreciate that. And honestly, if you want to see more content from the channel, please consider subscribing. Leave a like if you liked it. If you have something you want to say to me personally, if you have some criticisms, some suggestions, if you just want to say something in the comments, then please leave one down below. And I'll get to you and read it as fast as I can. Thank you so much for watching again, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.